Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Why?
I don't know, 'cause I can.
No, like, why does it work here and not the other one?
I, I, I don't know. I can't answer that. Um, but I guess let's just jump right in before I lose connection again.
Okay. Are you doing Oracle?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna start with the affirmation like we normally do. I usually do Oracle at the end.
Okay. You can do Oracle.
Well, I'm doing affirmation first.
That's fine. I just wanted to confirm because if
Oh,
you asked me to do Oracle, then I would have to go get my cards.
I mean, either or. I had it next to me, but if you want to do it, you can do it.
I'm just wanting to be prepared.
Gotcha. All right, let's just jump right in.
Are we sharing this with anybody?
I mean, I have it open to the public, but I did not send out the link note yet.
No, I will do that.
Okay.
I will do that
Lovely.
right. Sorry, I'll do that right now.
No problem. You do that, and I will do the opener.
All right, sweet beans.
Awesome. All right. Welcome to Unhinged, Unfiltered, and Unscripted, Season 2, Episode 1918. Sorry. And tonight's wonderful affirmation is I am fucking powerful. And tonight's topic of discussion is going to be how we need to learn to love ourselves before we love another. And Jennifer, the other one, not me, the other one, is going to open us up with the discussion.
Ugh. um, I see currently within people, and not that it's highly concerning, but the big thing is learning to self love and not worrying about somebody else loving us, whether it's our friends, our family, our significant other. Um, I think we just need to learn to accept ourselves for who we are. And if we need to grow, learn how to grow and be a better self, we need to accept ourselves for who we are. If there's something that we can improve or something better, I guess, I think there's always room to grow. I don't think at any point in time in our life we don't stop learning. Some of us, I believe, are not open to it, but the saying "old dogs don't learn new tricks," I don't believe that. I think we can always learn. We can always do better, be better.
Oh, absolutely, 100% agree with that.
And I know in this, what, half a year per se, I've been back to my home state. Um, it's I've learned, you know, the truth about things, and I've learned, you know, my support group doesn't have to just be family. It doesn't just have to be certain people. Me and Jen have created, with the help of others, a very good support group. And I can honestly say for myself and everything that I've gone through and experienced, I would not be where I am mentally without them. They've been the rock. They've been the support. They've been everything for me. But it's just alarming in some sort of way that society, I think, has gotten away from accepting ourselves for who we are and sharing that with other people and showing compassion to other people. We don't have to like people, but we don't have to be negative towards people either. And I think we can shine light on the situation to do better as one instead of creating diversity and or divide between races, culture, where you live, how you lived. We all bring something different to the table. And that's something that we could all learn and grow from and do better. Our big thing for people in general is to take time in ourselves. We can't expect things to happen overnight. We can't expect things to, be done, in a couple of days. I mean, things take time. We have to learn lessons. We all have something constantly that we are learning, or it's knowledge that we need to obtain to move a different direction in life. I know Jen and I are in conversation with some friends of ours, and we're moving multiple directions. And we're learning to grow to where we don't have to be a single entity, but we are still doing effort on our own because we don't live next door. um, so being self sufficient and holding ourselves accountable, which is hard to do sometimes. I know I'm horrible at it, but it shows that we can identify things about ourselves, not necessarily saying that they're bad or negative, but something that we see and we can grow from it and do better as as a person. Just because something might be said, "Hey, this is what's going on," take a look at it, examine it, don't, not saying they're right or wrong, but at least examine it and be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I initiate that." I mean, I had a problem earlier this week at work with a coworker, and whether I can't say I was right or wrong, and I'm not saying they were right or wrong, but I took the initiative, which I've really hardly ever done in my life, and I apologized to him because it's the right thing to do. And that is also the adult thing to do. Not every situation has to be right or wrong, but it can be examined and looked at. Like, yep, I see where this, went sideways. Let's do better, you know. And I had that conversation and we both agreed on it. Communication. It's huge. We already did a segment on communication, but this, I mean, it's part of it. You have to be able to talk and to talk about things in a adult manner to where everybody understands where you're coming from. And setting boundaries is another episode that we talked about, but this is also setting boundaries to where people cannot hurt us or take advantage of us. And those boundaries are also for ourselves. We cannot overstep them.
Absolutely. And another thing that I like to put in there is that when you point out somebody like their flaws or like an area in which they need to improve, wording is also very important. along with the communication, you're not doing it to attack them or to bring them down. It's just be like, hey, this is something that I've noticed. I don't know if you know, but this is something where you can work on. And I think that plays a big part in it because I know and actually, I was just talking about this with one of our friends that, I'm learning now to, stand up for myself and say, hey, no, that's not accepted, that's not allowed, or hey, the way you said that wasn't like that was hurtful. And
Right.
not attacking that person for doing it, but also acknowledging it that, hey, let's try to be better on it. And that's that was with like my husband, who I've been married to for 9 years. Like, so going on the whole, you're always changing. You are. Him and I are still learning things about each other after 9 years married. Like, you're constantly learning. And just for shits and giggles, every 7 years your body changes. You get a new allergic reaction or become allergic to something you weren't before. Every 7 years that happens. So think of it in that term. Every so often you change. You're not the same person you were when you were a kid. So you're constantly changing that way too. So people should also keep that in mind that we're always evolving and changing.
Oh, I am so not the same person I was when I was a kid. I'm far from it. The mentality I had as a kid, I don't think the same now. Even in my 20s, I don't think the same way now as I did then. And I'm finding a lot of closure with things that I never thought I would find closure with. And I'm okay with it.
Same. I'm healing from childhood wounds that I thought would never heal, nor did I think I needed to heal from it. And it's crazy how that works.
It's crazy that it's like certain people come into our life and we're like, what are you here for? What purpose do you serve? But sometimes people are here seasonal. Some people are here long term.
It is true. And it's always the ones that are unexpected.
Right. Don't let those sneaky people slide in sideways. Watch out
Oh,
for them.
oh yes, those slippery bastards.
They're like snakes in the grass.
Oh, the definitely snake, I'll tell you that much.
Right, you need to set booby traps.
AKA boundaries. But it's funny.
Sure.
I'm sorry, what?
I said sure if that's what you want to call it.
If you think about it logically, that's kind of what it would be. Um, but it's actually kind of funny because last night, right before I fell asleep, I was
On
actually
me.
talking. Yeah, sorry, my bad. I was talking. Well, I was in Gumball's live for a second. Like, he didn't have me up or anything, but we were talking about how, boundaries, because he had an issue with somebody who was taking advantage of him. And the funny thing was, is he had said, he was like, "And I'm not talking about you." And like, I even said it. I was like, you know what? For the first time, I didn't think that. Because for the first time, I didn't put myself down because I knew it wasn't me. So like, for the first time in my life, like, I didn't automatically assume that I did something wrong or I was um being a
Surprise.
nuisance to somebody. And like, that took a lot of growth for me. Talking about the whole like self-love thing, but like, we were talking about how, boundaries are extremely important, especially when you mix friendship and business, which I know you're not supposed to do, yada yada yada, but it happens. People do. But also knowing,
Sure.
your worth when it comes to it. Like, I've had pointed out, for instance, with a t-shirt order with Shauna, like, I wanted to cut the deals, the discounts, not have her pay full price because she's a friend. And she slapped that out of me, told me no. And I was like, no, you charge me like a actual client. You treat me like a client because, I don't get special treatment just because I'm a friend. And I love her for that because she thinks that she was being rude, but in reality, she was helping me, you know, be that type of assertiveness that I needed to be able to separate friendship and business. Because it's tricky when you do that, but as long as you have the right support team and the right help, anything's possible.
Oh, very true. Anything is achievable. And I agree with that statement because, you know, so some, some, so our friends, I think, regardless of who, what, when, where, or why, like they are our backbone, and we are their backbone. You know,
Absolutely, we all play a role in each other's lives.
yeah. But you gotta have the right support system. You gotta have the right people to be there and be like, listen, you did fuck this up. You fucked this up real good. What's your next plan? You know, and
Absolutely.
even though they will be there to talk to you about it and guide you into whatever it is you're doing or however the situation is, I think having the right support system, they may tell you that you fucked up, but they're not going to leave. They're not going to be like, huh. I mean, that's a double edged sword, maybe in a way, depending on the situation. If you do something very terrible, you know, depending on what it is, yes. But majority of the time, simple daily life mistakes, let's say I don't know, what's a good situation? Fuck. Um, you got into a fight with your neighbor. I mean, they may ask you who won, you know, and of course, don't lie. Tell the truth. If you get your ass whooped, don't lie. Okay? But regardless of the outcome, your friends are still going to be there. Your friends are your cheerleaders. Your friend's family. It's just like Thanksgiving. You don't have Thanksgiving, you have Friendsgiving. A lot of people are celebrating Friendsgiving because they don't have a lot of family or they don't live next to their family. And I think it's good to lean on people to a degree. But like I said before, we also have to be able to be self sufficient ourselves. We have to be able to stand up and be like, you know what? I fucking got this. Fuck this shit. I ain't gonna fucking know. And fucking carry on about your day and do what you gotta do for you as a person. You know, I think a lot of people sometimes don't have the right support system. In a situation today, I was talking to another person at work and they were saying, hey, this and this and this is going on. I'm like, listen, I don't do that petty stuff. I don't do the backstabbing. I don't do, any of that stuff. Do I like it when it's done to me? No, I look at everybody for their personality and I look at everybody for what they bring, quote unquote, to the table as, you know, um, a person. And if for whatever reason things happen, things happen. We can't control everything and we can't control people. We can only control what's ourselves or what's quote unquote partially in our environment. So take time, breathe, don't freak out, don't make irrational decisions, make decisions that are for the greater good and going to benefit you in the long run. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Everything we do in life, everything we say or put out verbally, physically into the world, how we treat people is what's going to happen at the end of our life. The reflection. So if you don't treat somebody nice or do the best that you can, no matter what, I mean, you have to suffer the consequences for it, not anybody else.
Absolutely. And I think in terms, in keeping with that as well, you know, as parents, we have to teach our kids the same kind of role as far as like, actions to your consequences, and if you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this will happen. But also teaching them that, um, going back to kindergarten, like the whole treat people how you want to be treated really goes hand in hand, because you can't ask me to do something for you if you're not doing the things that I ask for. And it's tricky, with children, but like in adulthood life, you have to kind of apply the same thing. Like you can't sit here and ask me for X, Y, and Z, but give nothing in return. Like not all the time doesn't mean, financially either, but like, you can't keep putting yourself out for somebody who doesn't give back anything beneficial. Um, if that makes sense. Not again, not using people for gain, but like you're not gonna bend over backwards for somebody if they're not there for you when you need it, or just in general, if they're just toxic and just using you for your energy or your money or your talents. That's not, you don't need that in your life. Does that make sense?
100%. And I think, for me and you also, Jen, there have been people that have came into our life that have shown us things that we're like, nah, I'm good. I'm going to sit way over here in left field. I'll let you do what you got to do, but I'm going to sit way over here in left field. And when shit rolls downhill, I'm going to be cool. Because we see not directly ourselves, but I think sometimes we see things going on or going to happen, and we're like, no, we just really don't want a part of that. We don't.
Yeah, we're gonna be adults about it, not petty.
Right. And
I mean, sometimes it's fun to be petty, but we
no,
usually try to take the high ground, even though I'm short.
right. I mean, pick and choose what you're going to be petty about. Don't be petty about every little thing in life.
But yeah,
I
no, absolutely
really,
not.
right. I mean, you can vent about things.
But see, that's the other thing that really kind of gets me going is the fact that in today's society, sometimes when you vent about something, somebody sees it as you complaining or you whining about it in a sense. Like for instance, going back to being a parent, sometimes I bitch about my kids because sometimes they could be a handful. And sometimes if vented to the wrong person, I get back, well, you wanted to be a parent. You chose this. I know I did. I know I chose this. And I know I wanted to be a mom. Well, I make jokes about that, but like I love my children, I do. And yeah, I chose this life for myself, but that doesn't mean I don't. I can't complain about it, or I can't vent about it. There are hard
Right.
days. It's not always rainbow and sunshine.
Oh,
And
fuck
like people see it as, you being down or you being negative, and just does that whole snowball of like everything. And it's just, it really does make a difference who you have in your corner and who you don't, and who's worth that energy. Because even when it comes to venting, sometimes it's not worth the breath, the air that comes out, because it's just to the wrong person. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time, your energy, your mental health. It sometimes.
no. Because it basically tears your wall down. It brings you to a lower level of energy. And we're not, you know, I mean, we're going to have good days and we're going to have bad, but to verbally or mentally or physically bring somebody down just to be that, oh, I got it. And let me mark that in my fucking notch of whatever, you know, that you won something. It's not about winning or losing. It's about doing the right thing in general.
Absolutely. And also talking with Gumball last night about that too is it, a form of self-love is learning to walk away from somebody of that nature. And it's hard. It can be very hard to walk away because you're either saying goodbye to a friendship that you've had for a long time or somebody who means a lot, and you willingly have to say, no, sorry, not worth my energy. And sometimes it's permanent, sometimes it's not. Um, but making that call and that decision it can be very hard sometimes if it's not an easy one to make, but deep down, like we all know when it is the right time to say goodbye and walk away. But making that call it is one of the best things you could do for yourself because you're no longer allowing that person to take that that power away from you or that energy away from you or that whatever. Like you are
Right.
standing up for you, and that it really is the best thing and the best form of self-care and self-love because you're finally saying, no, I'm worth more than you can give, or I'm worth more than what you're bringing into my life. I don't need your negative or your
Right.
toxic.
Right.
And
And go ahead. Sorry.
I
Go
was
ahead.
basically just going to say that that's the best thing like one person could do for themselves is to decide what they want to keep and what they don't.
I think the best thing that you and I have heard, I think it was last week. I don't remember. Anyways, we had a gal tell us that we do not have to get even. We do not have to throw stones. You can forgive people, not forget, forgive. And if they do apologize, you accept the apology, but
Don't allow it to come back.
you're not allowed to sit at my table.
Yep.
You're done.
You can stay in the same room, but yes, not at the same table.
Right. People have shown a lot of things, and I think this is both for men and women because I think there is both. There are good both men and women, but I think society has also taken the woman's side more than the male. And that's really unfortunate because I really do think it needs to be an even playing field when it comes to certain situations, or really looking at a situation before you're just like, oh, well, it's a guy. Okay, well, if he's like 60 pounds soaking wet and she's like 120, I mean, that's not really even, you know? Uh, our friend
That reminds
Ken,
me of Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Sorry.
right, our friend Ken, you should try and rise above any trouble that comes your way. Exactly.
Oh,
I can,
and going with that, go real quick with that, is that something I also heard last night in a live was that just because you can't see a clear solution to a problem doesn't mean there aren't other avenues to explore. So it may
mm,
seem like a dead end or it's over, but that doesn't mean that it is. It just means you have to think of another way to get there. Same with like math problems, for instance. Like just because you don't understand it doesn't mean there's not another sol way to solve the problem. There's multiple ways. It's always a good way to think of it.
mhm. And I'm not saying that there's only one way to solve every problem. Maybe with certain things, but not with everything. There's no way. I don't believe it. That's like saying Sasquatch isn't real. He's real, just so everybody's aware. Sasquatch
Are
is
you sure
alive.
about that?
I'm 100% sure.
Oh, absolutely. And if we have the right support by our side, we can face any of those troubles or those problems with no, I don't want to say no worry, but like we can we could defeat it no problem if we have the right support team by our side.
Right? You gotta have the right team. You gotta have a good team, you know? But just remember, if somebody is doing something for you, return the same favor or close to, however. Just be there for them,
I mean,
you know?
take a group message that we were in with somebody having an issue with PayPal. All I did was offer a phone number for them to call. I didn't think I did anything. But in doing so, they did what I suggested and they got the help they needed. Therefore, I didn't think just giving a phone number was, any bit helpful, but it turned out it was the thing that was the most helpful. Um, sorry. So even the smallest thing, you may not think it's anything, but to somebody else it could be everything. And absolutely, what you give, you should definitely most likely give back.
Energy is everything. It is huge. Huge, huge, huge. You know, and it doesn't matter if you're spiritual, religious, it does not matter. It doesn't matter what you believe in, how you portray yourself is where what your destiny is, you know? I'm getting my halo back after a little over 10 years of having thorns or horns. I'm getting my halo back. But it's okay. You know, I'm almost 40. And I still sit here every day and I'm like, I got this. It'll be okay. You know? It's not the end of the world. I still have a lot to offer. I still have more life to live and to share with people that I care about.
Absolutely. And sometimes, yeah, some of us didn't find, our group until they're, in their 50s or their 60s. But, you know, yeah, we may have our bad days and our setbacks. But knowing that there's someone out there that we could talk to openly and without judgment, it makes a world of a difference. Yeah, you're almost 40, I'm almost 35, but at least I know that there's a person out there that I can go to on my worst day and complain about the most obscure thing and not be like, oh, well, I'm going to call the authorities on you. No, I know damn well that I have someone I can talk to, vent about, and get back to the awesomeness that I am.
100%. I think we can take time to think about, you know, other people too. But in order for us to help others, we have to help ourselves. We have to build ourselves up and stay there. I mean, we're not going to be there every day, but
But like I tell my husband all the time, marriage isn't 50-50. Sometimes marriage is 80-20, 90-10. And it's same with, the group of friends or people in your life. It's not always going to be equal parts. It is going to be sometimes you're holding the majority of the weight or you're shouldering most of the problems. But you know that person's going to be there to return it on your bad day. You have to, it's not just the same with marriages. Like I said before, like it is sometimes friendships too, or family, or sometimes not blood family, the family you chose to have.
mm-hmm,
And with that, also sometimes the family you choose to have by your side, sometimes it's not going to be rainbows and sunshines there either. It will be, heartaches and hardships and fights. But with any family, with anybody in your life, that's going to be true. It's not always, easy with certain people, but with the right people, it's worth the fight and it's worth the energy and it's worth the bad time. Because it'll be made up and it'll be better down the road. Like you can shoulder anything together with the right people.
100%. We are only humans, but that doesn't mean.
Oh, we are? I thought we were aliens.
Well, I mean,
Some of us might be.
we we could be. I mean,
Oh, sorry.
even
That was not
even
me.
though we're all built the same in the inside, doesn't mean that we're not different on the outside. We're all aliens.
We are.
We're gonna take
Hate
over.
to break it to you.
We're taking over the world.
Wouldn't that be something?
I mean, we could try.
Oh,
We really could try, Jen.
we could. All right. Probably be better, to be honest.
I mean, some shit's probably gonna get fucked up, but
Gonna?
okay, it is gonna get fucked up. It is. It is. So technical.
Listen, technically speaking. Sorry. I don't know anymore.
I don't know anymore either. I do know that Sasquatch is real. The Loch Ness Monster lives in the bottom of the ocean, the deepest part of the ocean.
That's why I don't go swimming in the ocean.
The creatures of the night, aka
Us?
well, are you a cryptid?
I don't know. I might be.
I think you are. Complete sabotage.
I mean, I'm a fairy. We all know it.
Yeah, you're disguised as one. But what are you really underneath that is what I want to know.
Might be something to find out. Definitely something should be researched, studied in a lab.
Listen, okay, I hate to get off subject, but
We're
honestly,
already there.
like, can we just dissect and figure out what it is you're made of? I think you as a human, and you're going to agree with this. You as a human are going to say, "Hey, I am a medical discovery, and I'm really
Okay.
fucked up, and I want to know why."
I mean, yes, but I mean, I don't know. I'm an enigma. I'm not real. I'm an imaginary
Do you come to me in my sleep? Are you the
friend.
one
No, that would
trying to
be a
talk to me?
demon.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I might be that too. Who
Oh,
knows?
that's probably the one living underneath the stairs.
Shh, don't give away my identity.
Oh yeah, sorry. She teleports.
Oh, that would be so awesome if I could.
I know, right?
Dude, I'd be at your house every day if I could. We'd never leave. On
I
that note, since we've
I
taken a
wanna
strange turn,
I wanna fucking teleport.
that would be my superhero. Because I'm already invisible, so I don't need that.
Sorta, kinda, not really.
Well, I was. Let's put it that way. I was invisible for a long time.
You were, but not anymore.
Yeah, because now people see me and they
Mm,
don't care for me. They're
whatever.
saying it's great. It really is. But substitutes. Now I can't, get away with it.
Life goes on, Jen.
Oh, it's a song.
This is the song that never ends.
Goes on in your
And
mind.
your friends. Some people started singing without knowing what it was.
And this is why we're awesome. No, you're not, dude. Don't lie.
This is why we're not cool.
Yeah, that is true. See, I don't know how I feel about this.
Why?
Well, no, because I did our oracle because we're running on that time. So I figured, well, it was, while we were just chatting, I'd sometimes, because you know how it takes sometimes a little while for it to come out. So I
Oh,
did it, and I don't know, it the one that came out was divinity, which is, oop, that's upside down. Oop, that's backwards. Which is wise, sacred, and deity. I just don't know how that I don't know. I don't know how to put that into make sense. Sure,
what
what it means.
what doesn't make sense?
I mean, nothing makes sense.
What part? What part, Jen? What part?
It
Talk to me
just,
here. Talk to
I
me.
don't know.
Speak, boo boo, speak.
It's just one of those things where it's like, why is sacred and deity? Does that mean that my deity is yelling at me? Does that mean that we are wise in what we're finally coming into realization about and, learning and growing from and with and to and or not? Or I don't know how I want to interpret that. But it definitely makes me want to make my own deck of Oracle cards. Hmm. It's interesting that the word deities there, mine was yelling at me the other day. That would sound like a great metal song. You're right, Ken. Totally look into that.
Wow.
Try one more time. Make sure I'm the same way. Why are you wowing?
Oh,
Why did you wow?
I am astonished.
Ooh, that's a big word for you. Ooh.
I'm pretty fucking cool. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty fucking cool.
I mean, I am too. I want chicken nuggets. Chicken nuggets and mac and cheese. And nuggets don't. That sounds like a great idea.
Nuggets.
Right? Chicken nuggets sound
I like
delicious.
chicken nuggets.
My husband
Chicken
tells me.
nuggets.
I'm just kidding. Awesome. Oop, shit. Awesome, Ken. Ow. Like 5 things that just fell out of my hand.
Well, it's supposed
Come
to
on,
hurt
Ken.
yourself.
Why not? Where's the fun in that? Come on. Okay. Try this again. Well, that's rude.
Well, guys, if you want somebody to beat themselves up, really should
That is your person.
check out Jen. She's really good at it.
Really am. I could burn my face and not cry. You are not being miserable. You should be laughing right now at our
I didn't say
horrificness.
anything. I didn't say nothing.
I wasn't talking about you.
No,
Okay,
I didn't do it. I did not do
see
it.
if this one makes sense. I know you didn't do it. We all know.
I'm innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, you're definitely guilty.
I am not. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
harmless
No, you're not. Nope.
little fly.
Nope. This one makes a little bit more sense, but this
I
one is
just go
vivid.
buzz. I just go.
You go what?
I just go buzz, 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 buzz.
You're definitely a bee. You're a busy bee, a worker bee. So, so this one is light, which is vivid, contemplation, and cleansing, which makes a little bit more sense. But I think
Ooh,
both of them kind of did too. It's just the first one I think was more yelling at me than anything. But with that, I think we will probably close up for at least tonight, and we'll retouch on it in a more complex note another day as well. And my internet is not giving issues.
terrible. Complete sabotage.
What?
Nothing. I'm just talking shit. I'm just
No,
talking shit.
not you. Not you.
Like, I'm just talking shit.
Well, I mean, that's always the best part.
I know. I like talking shit.
The moon is quietly farting in your general direction. Yay, moon. Giggity. But on that note, um, y'all have a wonderful, blissful, interesting, funny night.
Ditto.
And do you want to leave us out?
Thanks for coming to Unhinged, Unfiltered, Unscripted, and don't forget, unmedicated.
Always.
Always.
Y'all have a wonderful night. See you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.